relationship was destined to be, this is it. I can only imagine the fates of love witnessing your paths crossing time and again throughout the years, like ships that pass in the night, knowing all the while that eventually your ships would collide, at a Holden show in Hollywood, no less. For those of you whom I have yet to meet, I suppose a bit of an explanation of my connection is in order. Simply put, I am the bride's best friend and the groom's favorite cousin. And he has a lot of cousins. But simplicity is not the name of this story. I guess you could say Laura and I have been friends since birth. The thing is, we didn't figure it out until almost a decade later. Laura and I were born in the same hospital, exactly 1 week apart. She arrived first, and even as a wee one, she was thoughtful enough to save me a space beside her in the neonatal unit at Van Nuys Hospital, where we would both need light therapy to turn our jaundiced baby bodies back to their normal color. I know it seems silly to think that the seeds of our friendship were planted in those first few days of our lives, but it simply must be true. When we were reunited at the ripe age of 8, it was as though our roots were long ago established and already grown strong. We were lucky kids, raised in loving and generous families, and the world could only turn brighter now that we were in it together. Laura and I officially met on the soccer field when we were both placed on the same ASO All-Star team, which later turned into our long-term club team. It's funny, I've been more than willing and happy to take credit for instigating Nick and Laura's relationship, and it's well-deserved. But in an odd way, thanks should perhaps go to Nick, for aside from my dad, he was likely the most significant contributor to my superior athletic abilities. Which was the reason I was on that field to begin with. As many of you know, actually probably not that many of you, I preferred to go by Mike from the ages of about 4 to 6 years old. But what many of you might not be aware of is that Nick is to thank for the formation of my tomboy alter ego. As a little girl, I idolized my cousins Nikki and Dan the Man, and when I say idolized, I mean I wanted to be exactly like them. Exactly. And as time passed and I re-embraced my Hannah-ness, my affinity for Ninja Turtles, Dick Tracy, poop jokes, Game Boy, baseball caps, and every competitive sport within reach remained. So, without Nick's influence and informal coaching, I may have lacked the all-star skills that allowed for Laura and I to be teammates in the first place. Over the past almost 20 years, Laura and I have gone from teammates to classmates to best friends to family. In all of these roles, Laura has always been an unfailing source of love and support in my life. Okay. As fellow Pisces, we have much in common, and therefore can wholly understand and empathize with one another's sensitivities. But Laura is also my teacher and my inspiration. She taught me how to slide my rollerblades rather than use the actual brakes, because that was not nearly badass enough. And while she may not readily accept it, Laura has shown me how to live with complete abandon, especially when it comes to consuming baked goods and iced drinks. The truth behind the way she graces the world, the truth behind the way she graces the world about her is her undeniably genuine enthusiasm and affection for the intricacies of the human experience. As long as I've known her, Laura has always been surrounded by people who absolutely adore her. Her very presence is magnetic. It doesn't hurt that she's jaw-droppingly gorgeous, but it's the vivacity, the charm, the sincerity that radiates from her core. An effervescent energy that is so tangible, you want to bottle it up and store it in your back pocket for a quick pick-me-up. That truly captivates us all. Not only is Laura a model of generosity, passion, confidence, friendship, and joy, she is a talented artist, an impressive athlete, an intelligent and worldly citizen, a devoted and very effective teacher, a thoughtful and loving daughter and sister, and now an adoring and infinitely adored wife. And so, when she called me one day after having run into Nick randomly at a friend's show in Hollywood and admitted that, "I never told you this, but I always thought he was so cute," I wasted no time in hanging up with her and dialing Nick to share her confession. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that he would reciprocate the sentiment. Any guy would be crazy not to, right? Right. And today, many years from that fateful moment, that crush has evolved into a love deeper and brighter than that in any of Laura's favorite literary masterpieces. They fully embrace one another just as they are, while simultaneously challenging each other to expand their comfort zones and try on new experiences as a team. These two have grown to know and love not only the many endearing qualities that each possess, but the eccentricities that make them perfectly and vulnerably human. I am comforted by the calming and encouraging effect Nick has on Laura, and can't help but melt a little bit every time his eyes light up when he looks at her. I know that Nikki will never fail to bring that contagious smile to Laura's face, and that she will always make him feel like the luckiest man in the world. And with the addition of their cherished rookie, they have already begun to spin their family web. And I'm pretty sure I may be more eager than anyone for their next baby to grace our world. I love you both and wish you a love that fills your hearts forever.
Let's hear it. I would like to hear a few words from the best man. Please welcome Kobe.